The truth is out there, or is it? That's a question people around the world have been asking for centuries. People have theorized that maybe we've been visited before by aliens. Some even saying they are the ones who actually built the pyramids. But the conversation doesn't really pick up steam until just a few decades ago. And that's when the idea of aliens among us became cemented in pop culture. Do me a favor and try one thing. Google alien and tell me what you find. Never mind, I already know. Movies, think pieces, the people who swear they saw one at one time. Looking at you, Victoria Beckham. Aliens are undoubtedly part of American culture. Don't believe me? Then why does this YouTube video called 5 Strongest Signs of Aliens in Alien Life have 40 million views? Don't act like you haven't seen it. A survey by 20th Century Fox found 47% of Americans believe in aliens and believe they're visiting Earth. History.com says our fascination with alien life started back in 1947. That's when a pilot named Kenneth Arnold reported seeing 9 objects glowing bright blue and white flying into V formation over Washington State's Mount Rainier. Following that sighting, aliens and UFOs were spotted on TV shows and movies and just about anywhere else. The first notable example of aliens invading Hollywood was The Day the Earth Stood Still in 1951. Back then, the alien had a bad rap. He came to America with demands and threats, got killed, came back to life, and basically told Americans they'd be destroyed. Not cool, Klaatu. Thankfully, not many Americans believe aliens are of the violent persuasion anymore. Only 20% of Americans in the Fox survey believe in alien abduction. So you can say we eventually warmed up to them.
I'm Garrus Vakarian, and this is now my favorite spot on the Citadel.
Even former President Jimmy Carter, who says he doesn't believe in aliens, claimed to see a UFO when he was younger. Political figures, celebrities, even cartoons tried visualizing who these other beings were. Are they green or purple? Do they have a lot of fingers? Odd-shaped heads? Many of us just see them as family.
Thank you for joining us, Mom!
While others are just friends. Okay, maybe not all of them. But I mean, what would have become of our culture if E.T. had a smartphone and couldn't find his own way home? Or Lilo never met Stitch?
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind.
Right now, there's no hardcore proof aliens exist, but depending on who you believe, who's to say there won't be an encounter of the third kind one day? So, of course, we had to hit up an expert on the topic. Cody LeGros got the chance to speak with astronomer Seth Shostak from the SETI Institute. If you've never heard of it, SETI stands for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, making Seth a real-life alien hunter.
And here's the big question, Seth. Are we alone? Is there life out there?
Well, we think there's life out there. We have good reason to think there's life out there. But to be completely honest about it, we haven't found any, not even pond scum. The major space agencies are looking for pond scum nearby in our solar system. For example, on Mars, some of the moons of Jupiter, Saturn, that kind of thing. We're here also looking for intelligent life. But as it stands today, nobody has any compelling proof of any life beyond the confines of Earth.
So what have scientists actually discovered? Like, what's the closest thing that would be like, okay, maybe?
Well, no, there's no sort of maybe in this. In the past, there have been claims that we found life. You may remember 1996. That's a while ago now. It's like 20 years. But
yeah, I was in kindergarten, if that makes you feel old. Yeah.
Well, the biggest science, you might still have known, the biggest science news story of 1996, it was a big story. I mean, the New York Times, had huge headlines about this, that some scientists at NASA, also at Stanford University, which isn't terribly far from where I am, had looked at a meteorite that they picked up in Antarctica that was from Mars. They knew it was from Mars, no doubt about that. And inside the meteorite, it became a meteorite when it landed, were some very small little squiggly things you could only see with a microscope, which they thought were dead Martians. So, that was something people thought, that's it. We finally find evidence that at least at one time Mars had life. But in fact, the whole thing, the whole story became very doubtful with time. And so at this point, no, we're not close. It isn't a matter of being close.
So speaking of Mars, I feel like the current kind of topic is, could we inhabit Mars? Is Mars even habitable, or any other planet for that matter?
Depends on what you are. If you're a microbe, Mars might be inhabitable even today. Maybe not on the surface. If you're on the landscapes of Mars, the rusty, dusty landscapes of Mars, life is not good because all the ultraviolet light from the sun just, essentially kills you right away. If you can get under a rock, maybe you're okay, but there's no water. You need some water. As it turns out, there may be water. In fact, we're almost sure that there's water, even liquid water, if you go down maybe 100 feet or maybe a mile underneath the surface. So it's inhabitable if you're a microbe, if you're in the right environment on Mars. If you're, a resident of Trenton, New Jersey, and you're transported to Mars, you're not going to enjoy things for very long. You can't breathe. There's no water. It's also very cold. It's not a great place. You'll be dead within probably 5 minutes.
But hey, I'm willing to bet anything might be better than Jersey. Okay, so
a staunch defender of the Garden State.
Well, why do you think we're so fascinated with aliens? I hear this has been a fascination of yours since you were 10.
I think that most people are interested in aliens, actually. You go into a classroom, and it doesn't matter what grade level you're talking about. In fact, K through 12, college, even grad students, and you ask the students, hey, do you think that there might be life out there? Do you think there could be aliens? They all raise their hands, right? They're all interested. Go to the movies. A lot of them have aliens. Part of that is you need some cheap, bad guys who won't ask for residuals. But the facts are that everybody's interested in aliens, just like all kids are interested in dinosaurs. I think it's pretty much the same thing. You're interested in something that may affect your ability to survive. And aliens, which, in a more, if you will, mundane case, are just people you haven't met on the other side of the hill. You want to know something about them because if you don't, they might come over from their side of the hill to your side of the hill, and who knows what the consequences might be.
Freeze! Employee of the month, ladies and gentlemen.
That's very true. So do you think the government has stashed a bunch of UFO files somewhere? Where are they hiding those?
Well, yeah, 1/3 of the public thinks the aliens are not only out there, but they're here. And something like 70 or 80% of people, these are polls that are made every couple of years, think that indeed that the U.S. government knows about this and has, evidence hidden away, Area 51 or, maybe Trenton, New Jersey. They have that evidence somewhere. I don't believe that. I work for the federal government. And besides, how is it that the aliens have arranged for all the good evidence to fall into the hands of the feds? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think that we're being visited for a whole slew of reasons, but the public disagrees. They just love the idea of a conspiracy to keep this info from them.